Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Beyond measure.
I'm gonna show you how great I am. Last night I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. I'm gonna show you how great I am. Only last week I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Hello everyone and cheers. It seems like my voice is coming through a little strong tonight. Sorry if I blasted your eardrums. A lot of head. Sorry, cheers everyone. Fourth Amendment tonight is what we're talking about. Really good to know what our rights are. If you don't know what your rights are, you can't exercise them properly or at all. This is a biggie too. Most people always talk about First Amendment, Second Amendment, which I totally understand. They're very important. Third Amendment, it's important because if we go to war, it's important for sure. However, yeah, I am coming through really strong. I'm going to just turn myself down just a little bit there. That better, guys? You might have to turn your volume back up now, but I don't want to keep spiking on red there. That's not a good thing. Anyways, First Amendment, super important. Second Amendment, they're all important. But if I had to really hone in on like the most important out of all of the 10, it would be the first, the second, and right here, the fourth, and also the fifth, knowing when to shut up. Okay? So, with that, I'm going to turn myself down even a little more. I don't know if I'm just talking louder today or what, but again, don't want to be blasting your eardrums, but again, I don't want it too weak on the back end so that it sounds like shit. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. OBS is saying that I'm in the yellow, my little audio mixer there. So yeah, Fourth Amendment, let's just jump right in, guys, and we'll get to the news. How do you like the new look? I think having myself over here, rather than over here, will work out much better. Do my shameless plugs. If you want to be in the ticker right down here instantly, go to the tip jar on jds2cents.com. It'll show your tip amount, and you get to write whatever the hell you want, up to 50 characters right down here. You'll see it run through. Also, if you like the glass that I'm drinking out of, this beautiful 2 cents pint glass, you can get that on the website as well as the shirts. So you get the glass, move my big fat body out of the way. You see it right here though. And you can get the shirts, ever popular. I'm on the other side now, so I got to get used to this. Ever popular permanently tired shirt. Get comments out the wazoo when I wore this out in public before I tore it. If you want to see the video of me tearing it, let me drop those links real quick, because I keep talking about it and I haven't dropped the links. So give me a second, grab that for you. Come on, YouTube, load. This is impromptu. Didn't have it ready to go, obviously. I'll just drink beer while it's loaded. So here we go. Get your link. There we go. The X space is open. Go ahead and hop in there if you want to share your 2 cents. Bottom half of the hour. Also call 720-72-cents. 720-722-3687. You can send a text message, leave a voicemail. Don't call in until 8:30. I won't answer. and it'll start ringing here, and then I'll have to put it on Do Not Disturb. But that's okay. I don't mind doing that. I do want the engagement. So if you want to go ahead and try to engage early, you're a few more sheets into the wind than I am already, I'll forgive you. Where is that? There we go. Okay. I opened the wrong windows, in the wrong order. Give me a sec. Live chat. I'll get this right one day. I won't have any mistakes one day. Okay, anyways. The chats are open as well. Say hello. Say hello. So, without further ado, Fourth Amendment. JD's2cents.com. Go check it out. Get rid of my shameless plug. Open up full screen. There we go. And here's what the Fourth Amendment says. I'm going to get this right. I'm so used to pointing with my right hand to everything. I'm going to have to figure it out. Fourth houses, someone can't come destroy your house or your car without legal consequences. That especially the government is what this is talking to, but everyone. Papers, meaning your vital documents that you need to exist in the civilized culture. And effects, which means all your other shit, your pets, all your possessions, everything that's not a document. So everything that's in your house or in your car, whether it be the McDonald's garbage or all the gold pieces that you're hiding in your glove box for some weird reason. And everything in between. Okay, so what they're saying basically is no one can fuck you up, fuck your house up, your documents up, or anything else you own up. So it covers the whole gamut. Against unreasonable searches and seizures. So that means the government cops can't just come waltzing into your property and demanding that you show them this, show them that. They can't throw you in handcuffs right away unless they have what's called probable cause, which we're about to get to. Shall not be violated. Boom, very strong language. You cannot do this, government, to the people. You're not allowed. And no warrants shall be issued. That's what that's saying. Remember, this is Old English, so there's words that are left out. And no warrant shall be issued, but upon probable cause. Okay, what does probable cause mean? Probable cause refers to a reasonable basis, for believing that a crime may have been committed, or for an arrest, or that evidence of a crime is present in the place to be searched for a search. Probable cause is a Fourth Amendment requirement that usually must be met before the police, and I'm going to say not usually because I'm going to argue against what we're about to read. Probable cause is a Fourth Amendment requirement that must always be met before the police make an arrest, conduct a search, or receive a warrant. The Fourth Amendment also requires that any arrest be based on probable cause, even when the arrest is made pursuant to an arrest warrant. So what all of that is saying, in my humble layman opinion, my 2 cents here, is that probable cause has to exist before the government can take action against you as a civilian. And again, what is probable cause? This is key, guys. Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road. If there's any of the 10 amendments in the Bill of Rights that I would pick to really drill into people's heads, it would be this one, because this is how you interact with the police. Okay, this is how you exercise your rights with the police officer, which more than likely all of us have been through at least once in our lives, which is never a pleasant experience. But if you know how to exercise the Fourth Amendment, I guarantee you the cops will, 99.9% of cops will not fuck with you the way they would otherwise. is the best way to put that. Because they fuck with people. They're human beings. Remember that. They're going to see how far they can push the envelope, like all of us would if we're given a little bit of power. This is your check against them. And they know it. They know what this says. They know what it means. Most of them. There's that 0.1% out there, they're going to violate your rights, and then you can sue them in court if they don't shoot you first. Because those are the whack job cops that we see in the news all the time. I'm not a big pro-cop person. Never have, never will be. Are they necessary? Are they not necessary? I don't know. I would argue yes, in a very limited scope they are necessary, but a lot of places are way over policed these days. Anyways, I digress. Let's get back to the Fourth Amendment. So then it goes on to say this in this legal. I'll drop this link. I've dropped the link to the Constitution before. I'm gonna add the Constitution website to my website. I need to do that tonight, so I'm just going to remind myself real quick. Okay, Google. Remind me at 6:05 p.m.
Okay, today at 6:05 p.m. What's the title?
Add Constitution website to website.
Okay, I'll remind you today at 6:05 p.m.
Good girl. Who's your daddy? Cheers, everybody. I mean, she sounds sexy for a computer. What are you going to do? Anyways. Then they go on to say this. Here is the website that I'm referring to tonight. Still getting used to my two screens. Two screens was supposed to make life easier, and it will once I have muscle memory where everything's at. But as you can see, I'm clicking around a lot, being a dumbass. As Red Foreman would say, dumbass! I love that show, 70s show. I'm marathon watching it right now, up to season 5 so far. I started it a couple months ago. So, I sort of get sick of it. You know how marathons can be. You're like, okay, that's enough for now. Let me do something else, like play a video game or pet my animals. Or have more beer. Anyways, here's that website on probable cause. So they go on to say this. Under what they call exigent circumstances, probable cause can justify a warrantless search or seizure. I have a big issue with this. People arrested without a warrant are required to be brought before a competent authority shortly after the arrest for a prompt judicial determination of probable cause. Nowhere is this in the text of the Fourth Amendment, as we see here. So I'm just going to finish this text and we'll go back to probable cause. And no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation. I'll highlight it. And no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Do you see any verbiage here that even gets close to exigent circumstances? So what are exigent circumstances? Exigent circumstances is defined in United States v. McConney. We can stop right there. This is not even the Supreme Court, or no, it is the Supreme Court because it's United States versus. So it is the Supreme Court. How do I know that? Any lower courts? Well, it may be a lower district court, federal court, in other words. So it may not be... Is that a clickable link? It is. Let's see what this takes us to. Oh. I don't even think it's going to say. Oh no, okay, here. United States Court of Appeals, 9th Circuit. So the 9th Circuit of the appeals court at a federal level. Not that that really matters. I'm a geek for this stuff. But what I'm getting at here that does matter this court, and even if it was the Supreme Court, so let's just say, for the sake of argument, it was the Supreme Court that ruled on this. They were wrong in that they thought they had the power to supersede the Constitution of the United States, which is exactly what they did here. They wrote law, not just a law, they amended the Constitution from the bench here. Why does that matter? Because the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. We'll get into that when I get into my Body of the Constitution series, which will probably be sometime next month. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through Marxism. That's very important. That'll be the very next series following our rights, because it fits very nicely there to contrast between our God-given rights and what communists want to take away. Anyways, I digress. I think you guys see what I'm saying here. They have no right to just write this into the Constitution. To the Fourth Amendment is what they're doing. They're just adding to the Fourth Amendment, saying, oh, by the way, we think it's better. This court of probably 3 judges at the appellate level thought it was better that, well, no, we don't only have to have probable cause. In certain situations, we're going to let that slide, and you don't have to obey what the Constitution says. That's bullshit. The Congress, which is the Senate and the House together, Congress, they don't have the authority to supersede the Constitution unless they amend it with a 2/3 majority vote. And we see the balance of power throughout the years. It's never been nearly 2/3 of Republicans or nearly 2/3 of Democrats in both houses, ever. And the Founding Fathers designed it that way. So that government would fight each other constantly, because if they're not fighting each other, guess what they're going to come after? You. No matter which party it is. If the Republicans got 2/3 of both houses, they're going to come after you, the people. Because now they're too big for their britches. They're drunk on power. If the Democrats got that far, they're going to come after you. Because they're drunk on power. Okay? These people in Washington are sick. They're all sick. The vast majority of them. There's some good ones sprinkled in there that haven't been corrupted yet. Hopefully won't be. But there's a reason congressional approval rating is like 13 fucking %. It's pathetic. But we got to remember that's a good thing. Because that means they're fighting each other, which is exactly how it was designed to be, guys. The Founding Fathers knew we would devolve, I would call it evolve, into a 2-party system eventually. Which is exactly what they had planned. Because if we had multifaceted parties, we wouldn't be different from any other banana republic out there that are constantly, and that's how the country was formed and founded. There were multiple parties. But the Founding Fathers knew that eventually it would dilute into a 2-party system, which is a good thing. Because that means they're constantly fighting each other and hating each other instead of hating you, the people. I digress again, though. I've had a lot of rabbit trails, but it ties in. So yeah, probable cause only. Now, can you fight it if you're arrested under exigent circumstances now? No, probably not. Not as a sole person. But that's why we got to get together on these rights en masse, millions of us, and say, hey, Supreme Court, by the way, one of your lower courts has violated the Constitution on this case, which I won't go back to. It's on the recording if you want to go back. And you need to overturn this, especially the Supreme Court right now. I think there's a good chance they would. They'd be like, yeah, that's totally unconstitutional. They can only see so many cases a year, guys, you know, and I think there would be a good chance if there's a big enough movement to say, get rid of exigent circumstances. It's not in the Constitution. It was never amended. And the Supreme Court would overturn it and get rid of it. There should never be exigent circumstances. Okay? According to the Constitution. That's what I'm saying. So, and good luck fighting it. as an individual. So even if you were arrested for exigent circumstances and there was no probable cause, and the judge that you were set before under exigent circumstances was a piece of shit, and he throws you in jail anyways, and you hire a lawyer and go through that whole process, you're still probably going to lose because you're up against the system at that point. So, anyways, let's get back to the text of the Fourth Amendment, wrap that up. And if we have time, we'll get to the news. So no warrants shall be issued but upon probable cause only, supported by oath or affirmation, which means someone has to be witness to either your suspicious behavior. That's what it means. There has to be a witness to it, right? So the government can't just sit there waiting for you to do something bad. That's called, what's the modern day term for it? A sting operation. The sting operations are totally illegal. They have been ever since the Constitution was written, which is the supreme law of the land. They still do it anyways because cops are pigs, and if they are left unchecked, they'll do it. So I think that's not so much a failure of the police as it is police leadership. Police being unionized, which is absolutely ridiculous. And just, the leadership in place, whether it be the mayor of a city police force or the sheriff's of sheriff's deputies. That's where the buck stops with the violations when it comes to policing. Policing is supposed to be a much more narrow scope according to the Constitution than it is today. Just a story on this, a little rabbit trail, but that's fine. If you've been watching my videos, you know I'm full of them. I always come back around to the main trail quickly, so don't worry about it. I lived in Williamson County, Texas for longer than I wanted to. A couple of years, I think, 3 years maybe. That place is fucking militant, man. They literally own, while I was there, and this was years ago, so they probably own even more hardware now. They own an ATV with a 50mm cannon on the front of this fucking thing. For a county police force, not even county, this is the city of, no, it's the county of Williamson. Yeah. They have this huge fortress of a jail right in the middle of town. They are so proud of their police force that they literally plopped a huge, ugly, maximum security prison right in the middle of town, like right across from City Hall. I'm not even lying. And you see this stupid ATV rolling through the streets of downtown like every day of the week. It's ridiculous. It looks like a war zone. Those people are fucking insane. And I heard numerous stories from friends and family that had also, unfortunately, had to live there. Not family, but friends. Or friends of friends that got caught up in the system there. And they just love to sit there and destroy the individual. Just destroy their Fourth Amendment rights is what Williamson County government is all about. There's a saying. Williamson County, arrive on vacation, leave on probation. And it's true. Okay? So, if you're ever thinking of going, Williamson County is north of Austin. I think it encompasses Round Rock, Georgetown, and a few other cities, Lancaster maybe. Avoid the place. Just drive around Williamson County. It'll be worth the extra effort, trust me. If you want to go check it out for yourselves, more power to you. But they love to fuck with people there, the cops. So prime example of what over-policing and the corruption of power does to people, if you want to go check it out firsthand. You can look up videos on YouTube, though. I'm sure there's plenty out there. And all the locals will tell you, too. So you can go to other surrounding counties, and you can talk to people down there, and they'll avoid Williamson County. Don't go there. Hey, you betcha. What's up, man? You're not showing up on my viewer count. I didn't even know anyone was here. Thank you for watching, brother. Cheers to you. Or sister. I guess you betcha could go either ways. You're absolutely right. It is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting behavior. And this is why I am not a fan of cops. And never will be. Because when you take an oath, I took an oath to the Constitution when I did my 5 years in the Marine Corps, right at the beginning, that I would protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I still live by that Constitution. The vast majority of cops in this country today, they're cowards. And if you want video of that, I need to actually do a video on this. Go look up the video that was just put out of the body cam footage and how this guy with the body cam on is cowering behind a crane post because he heard shots instead of going and investigating what a cop should be doing. He's literally cowering behind this crane post. That's the number one reason I can't stand cops these days. The vast majority of them are cowards that don't stand up for basic human rights. And number two, and ties in with that, they could give a shit less about their oath. They're there to collect a paycheck and go home to their families, which I get the going home to families part, but guess what? You chose a job where you said you're going to put your life on the line if it comes to that, because you swore to defend the Constitution against domestic enemies. That's what cops are supposed to do. So fuck you if you want to just brush your oath to the side because you're collecting good money, part of a union, and have a family. You're a fucking coward. And there are some good cops out there, guys. I'm not saying they're all bad, but they're few and far between. Well, thanks, you betcha. Hey, man, I'm glad you're here. I hope you like what you're hearing. And if not, hey, debate me. I'm here to debate too. Everyone's welcome as long as you're not a dick. Okay? As long as you're not a trolling dick trying to screw up the stream. I appreciate you being here. Bottom half of the hour, which is 2 minutes away or less, you get to share your 2 cents. I'll just wrap this up real quick. I think I have enough time. But upon probable cause, which we already covered, supported by oath or affirmation, which we just covered, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So that's what they have to have in a warrant. They have to have the exact. If you get a warrant and it doesn't say who they're there for or what they're there for or the place to be searched, then it's an invalid warrant and you can challenge it there and then on the spot. You have the right to see the warrant before you let police officers into your home or into any part of your property, or before they arrest you. You can say, I want to see a warrant. Now, they can arrest you on probable cause. Remember that. They don't have to have a warrant for that. So if they do have probable cause, that's why you always want to ask them, what is your probable cause for placing me under arrest, officer? Anyways, I think I will make this into a second part tomorrow, just to sort of go over how to interact with the cops, because it's super important, guys. Because the main reason that cops get away with all this power grabbing is because we, the people, don't push back against them en masse. If we did, these cell phones, if there's one good thing about them, is that we can record cops all the time now. And that's why you have seen, because I remember 20 years ago, cops were just out of fucking control because no one was recording them. Now they're being recorded. They also have body cams, but they can turn them on and off, which is part of the police union bullshit. Why should you be able to turn it on and off? Doesn't make any sense. Let's talk about it more tomorrow. So if anyone's still here, You Betcha says, police should put their life on the line so other people can go back to their family. Dude, I like you a lot already. Very well said. Is it a dude or a dudette? Are you a male or female, bro? Bro or broette? I don't want to misgender you. And there's only 2 genders, by the way. So I'm only going to use those 2 genders. I'm not going to call you these crazy names. Male. You said make, but I think you said male. Yeah, there you go. Cool, man. Well, I really appreciate you being here. So now it's time for you 2 cents. The X space is open. You can call in, text in, voicemail in, 720-72 cents, 720-722-3687. Also, if you want to see your text down here on the ticker, like MAGA Mom, cheers to MAGA Mom, $20 tip. Appreciate you. Most recent donator, just a dude with $1. Thank you, sir. And then it'll also say, and I missed it here, it was back a little, but it'll say whatever your comment is up to 50 characters down in the ticker, and that just plays and plays, especially if you're a big tipper like MAGA Mom. Her comment's going to be in there for a while. So cheers to the tippers. I really appreciate you guys. This is a hobby channel, but hey, I'll make money off of it if you guys want to give me money. And that means I can spend more time, less time having to work during the day, more time in preparing great content for you guys. So you betcha, it looks like you're the only one here right now. They're chatting with me anyways. My counter isn't working today, obviously, because it would show me, it should be showing me that you're here with me. But yeah, it's just not working. Sometimes that happens. Technology's great till it fails. I need to make a shirt out of that. Okay, Google. Add to the list called T-shirt ideas.
What do you want to add?
Technology is great until it fails.
Sure, I added those 2 things to the list called T-shirt ideas.
It's not 2 things, but whatever. Sometimes you're sexy, sometimes you're stupid. I don't know what to say to you, Google. Anyways. Gotta break it up with some levity. So you betcha, you have anything to say in the chat, it's your half of the hour. I'm just the host. This is your guys' show. I just set up the house, and it's your party. Come on in and party. If you want to share some things, go ahead and drop it in the chat. If not, that's cool. If you want to actually get on the air with your voice, again, 720-72 cents. That's 720-722-3687. I have a space open right now on X. It's pinned to the top of my profile, so it's easy to access. I'll drop that in the chat, so it's easier to access. Cool, man. Well, I do really appreciate you being here. It means a lot to me. That's what I'm looking for, is engagement. So there's the X space, guys. If anyone does want to join, I will hang out for just a couple more minutes. And if people start engaging, I will hang out even longer. Usually up to an hour, but I don't mind going long if I'm having a good time with people. Or even a bad time with people. It's good to engage with people. It's what we really have to get back to, guys. We have to start talking again. We have to start debating and dialoguing again, because that's how we learn. I have a lot to learn. I have a ton to learn. I used to be a dumbass that was running around being a total fool, like, I'm right, you're wrong, fuck you. And it's just a really foolish, stupid attitude to have as a human being. And I was the worst, trust me. So, yeah, you betcha. Thanks again for being here, brother. I hope you'll check out some of my past episodes. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you like it. And, yeah. Don't really see anyone else engaging. I do have the phone lines open. So, yes, I listen to far left to far right podcasts just to hear. Good. That's a good thing to do. I can only stomach so much of the far left stuff at a time, just because I'm like, ugh, making my head cave in. But that's really smart, because if you do all far right or all far left, then you just become a cis, and just a husk of a human that's literally just plugged into the matrix for either side. So that's really smart that you do that. Because that's what keeps you middle of the road, right? Am I right? It keeps you closer to the truth for sure. When you're hearing both sides and then you make up your own mind. I love that you're doing your own research, man. So anyone that hears this in the future or is hearing it right now, you betcha has a really good strategy of hearing the arguments from both sides and then making up his own mind. And with that, I think we'll wrap up. Again, you betcha. Cheers to you. Hope to see you again soon. God bless everyone. Good night.